Let's talk now about the future. What is the future? Again, no one can predict it, but let me just talk about what the experts are telling me and best that I can discern this. We've talked in the past about it could be a tough winter, could be a tough November, December, January, because we're moving inside, because we're also now seeing for the last 2 weeks some fairly significant spread through the greater part of Ohio at a high rate. Cases up, positivity up, hospital admissions are up. Plus the early first indicators, doctor visits, emergency room visits, people with COVID-like symptoms, these are going up very, very fast. But I think the thing that we should remember, we can control a lot of this. Can't control it all. Virus is not going to go away until we get the vaccine, until we get the herd immunity. But we can control and mitigate a lot of this. We've done it before, and we can do it again. Ohioans are tough. We're resilient. We're workers. We focus. When the goals are clear, when we set our sights on those goals, when we set our sights on victory, we can, in fact, do it and have done it. To paraphrase something a science reporter wrote yesterday that I read, how we come out of this, the final death toll from COVID-19, for example, how it impacts all of us with jobs and business, will really depend on both what we do, all of us do, right here in Ohio. And it will also depend on how quickly we get the vaccine and, frankly, how well it works. Most of us in Ohio are not scientists. Most of us are not involved in this effort, although some Ohioans are. So we can't, most of us, control that. But what we can control is what we do. Let's talk about what we do know about the vaccine. Look, we have every indication that President Trump's Operation Warp Speed, which is being subsidized with a lot of money, where they're subsidizing vaccine companies' clinical trials and manufacturing costs. We have every indication it's working. As the New York Times reported yesterday, the operation is, and I quote, working with remarkable efficiency. Doesn't mean there won't be glitches, doesn't mean it'll be perfect, but it seems to be coming along. And so it is coming, and judging by all the indicators, it will work. As I said, we aren't the scientists. We can't control the development of this vaccine. That's beyond our ability. The money's been put in. The right people are working on it, and they're working on it exceedingly hard. Here's what we can control. And it does come back to the basics. We can control what we do every day. We can control keeping a distance from other people. We can control whether or not we assume that other people who we are seeing might have that virus and that we back off, keep the distance. We can control, as I said, wearing the mask. We can control whether we keep the distance. We can control whether we wash our hands, whether we take all the normal precautions. And what we do collectively is going to determine, frankly, what the next few months are going to be. If we could get mask compliance up 85, 90% in this state, every county, we would fundamentally change what the next few months will be like. So as we look forward, no one knows exactly how long this is going to take with the vaccine. So we don't know how much longer we're going to have to do this. But several people I've talked to and the things I can read, indicate that, by summer, this coming summer, we could be in a position where we're getting it out the vaccine out in a large section of our state of Ohio. What should be our goals as we move forward? We got to keep our economy moving, keeping the jobs we have, creating as many new jobs as we can, keeping our small businesses going. To do that, and to keep our deaths down, and we will have to keep this virus from flaring up. We all want to get through this alive and unhurt so we can be there for our children and grandchildren to celebrate birthdays, baptisms, weddings. Everybody has different goals. For some, it's keeping your kids in school, making it possible for them to play sports, making it possible for them to be in theater, making it possible for them to be in debate, choir, whatever their passion is. What we do in our communities will determine that, because the schools live in that environment. And if we allow that virus to flare up in our community, it is going to go into our schools. And it's the same way with our nursing homes. When nursing homes are hit, they're hit because someone is bringing that in. Not obviously on purpose, but they're coming in. And so that, what's going on in the community reflects what goes on in the nursing home. And so again, wearing masks, keeping a distance in the community will impact our schools, our ability to keep kids in school. It will impact our ability to keep our nursing homes free of the drug, free of the virus, excuse me. Everybody's got different goals. Maybe your goal is to be back in the horseshoe with 100,000 or so of your fellow fans cheering on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Maybe your goal is to be able to go to a busy farmer's market on a beautiful Saturday morning with your family to see your neighbors, pick up some fresh produce. And I will say that that's certainly something that you can do now and is going on if you're careful. Maybe your goal is to be able to hug your best friend who has some medical problem. Whatever your version of the why is, that's what is at stake. And what we collectively do will determine our ability to do this. Our game plan. In every sport, there's a game plan. We have a game plan. Our game plan is to wear a mask when you're out. Wear a mask when you're in a place where you will see others. Stick with our game plan. Execute the plays. This is exactly how we will disrupt the virus's game plan. The virus wants us to get complacent. It needs us to spread it, and it only spreads with our help.